When it comes to designing the kick, the biggest factor that will determine how the kick will fit together with the bass is the tonality or the keynote of your kick. Most of us will start a track by simply using our ears first, which is of course the best way to start making music, but you will definitely and shortly realize the amount of details that you have to care about, that you will need a solid sound design technique to be able to tune your kick to the desired note and in function of your bass. That's why we need a Kick2 software to be able to control the overall process of the kick design. A kick is nothing more than a waveform starting at a high pitch and sweeping down to a lower pitch. So maybe the best way to create your Psy-Trance kick inside Kick2 software is to go to the pitch envelope section here and start adding at least 5 nodes to be able to create that pitch reduction curve gradually. As I told in the kick anatomy lesson, the tail of your kick will determine the tonality of it. So in the pitch envelope section, that's usually the last node which will determine the keynote of your kick. That's because the other nodes are so high in pitch and so short in duration that our ears cannot perceive any tonality at all in these frequency regions. The lower the frequency drops and the longer the distance between nodes, the easier for our ears to perceive a tonality. The 2 last nodes placement will determine the exact distance between the waveform cycles. The lower we get, the bigger the distance gets. The higher we get in pitch, the shorter this distance gets. So, if we know already the note of our bass, we can set easily the ending node to match the tonality of your bass. If you want to get a perfect coexistence between the kick and the bass and having a solid unit bass line, you have to be in phase alignment in your sound design process. But the question is it the only way? And the answer is no, because there is no perfect kick, no perfect bass, and there is no perfect bass lines. There is many ways to explore. And of course, if you try to get a perfect phase alignment, you will be very satisfied of the result. You will get the kick and the bass sounding at the same fundamental note and giving a big solid unit to your production. That's a great way. But my personal and favorite method is to get a different kick note than the bass note. And on the fundamentals note, which are in the lower frequency range, of course, my kick note and my bass note are dancing together like 2 stars in the same solar system. I love this point of view image in my mind, because when you see a frequency spectrum, then we will see the kick is really definitely dancing with the bass note. So I definitely want to get that result, because it's giving at all a different groove. I love the groove of having different note from the kick and from the bass. Let me show you what I mean by these 2 different method of getting the tonality of your kick. The first method will be with the same note in the kick and in the bass. So in G, in my case, for this example, G straight at 140 BPM. As you can see, the kick and the bass are playing at the same fundamental note. So it's about 49 Hz in G. And you get a perfect phase alignment in the oscilloscope, as you could see. Let me play now a different kick, not so much different. It's just that I put the tail of this kick, of the same kick than before, in A. So it's in the key of A for this kick, and staying the attack and the body in G. I didn't touch it at all. And let's play and see what's the difference in the oscilloscope and in the frequency spectrum. Okay, you are not in a perfect phase alignment, of course, but there is no conflict at all. And as you can see, the most important, the kick is here, playing in A, and the bass is here, playing in G. And together they are dancing like two stars in a solar system. Isn't that good? I feel better like this. And so that's all. When I choose the tonality of my kick, it's in function of what I want to make with the bass note. And yeah, I decide correctly because I control my sound design technique, and I can have a professional result even with a different kick note than the bass.